Hello guys, welcome back to the full stack web development course. In this lecture we are going to just go in through this ask question page. So if you go down here, if I this is our application deployed in Netlify. So if I just go to the ask question page by clicking this, you may see a form here to get the title as well as the body of the question as well as tags involved. So I can just also review this question. So that's what the page we are going to look into now. So we will go here. As soon as I click this ask question page, it has been routed here, but I don't get the app here because I didn't create that ask question now. So first we will just create that. So now let me just close these questions as well. Let me just close both of this as well as inside page. Let me just open another folder called ask question, and inside that I'm just going to create another JSX called ask question dot JSX. So inside that we'll create another file to style ask question dot CSS. So we will do an RAFC shortcut here, and we can also import dot slash ask question dot CSS. Now we will just import this ask question JSX in the all routes. So in here we will just import ask questions. So we have imported that here. So let me just copy this ask question. So let me just do this again, and in here we'll just paste as question for the path. We will give the element as question. So now we are inside the ask question. So now let me just clear this as well as this. So let me just close this too. So now we will just expand these things. So in here I'm just going to have ask question, and first we will just check we are inside ask question page. So we'll just do ask question, and I think it may be beside that navbar. We'll just copy this many times as possible. So let me just refresh, so that we are inside this ask question page. It is clear now. So let me just clear these things as well, as I don't need this div tag. First I'm just going to have a empty ankle tag. So give something like this, and in here before having that, I'm just going to declare a variable called const user, which we have already used this variable in the navbar to see whether the user is logged in or not. So first I will just see. So if we have completed the backend, we would have done something here so that the user may contain some value. So first we will see is the user as any value if it equals to null. So before doing that, we just use this inside a set bracket. So if it equals null, then what I'm gonna return. So I'm just going to alert of login or sign up to ask a question. I'm gonna alert this, and as of now we will just have an empty ankle bracket for the else statement. Sorry, a div tag for the else statement to not get any error. So here I have to ask it should be not equals to null. If it not equals to null, I have to so I think it has to be equal to null. So I will just give any value here. So as of now, let me just give 1. Now we will just refresh the page. So you can see now if the user has logged in, the user may contain any value. Now the user variable may contain any value, so that it won't be equal to null. If it is equal to null, it means we haven't logged in, so we will just alert something called login or sign up to ask a question. And then after this, we will just redirect them to the login page, because if they haven't logged in, they have to go to the auth page. So that's what we want to do. If they are not logged in, we will just route to this page. So first we will go to the ask question. So in here, to redirect them to the login page, I'm just going to import something called as use history from React router DOM itself. So let me just give a space and React router DOM from React router DOM. So that's it. So first let me just have a variable for use history. Const history is gonna be equals to use history. So that's it. So now we have created a variable for use history. Now if the user is equals to null, then what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to do history.push of slash auth. So what this statement really means, so it's like, I think we have to do only one action here. So what I can do, let me just copy a function. So write a function called redirect here. So let me just declare the function here. So I'm just going to have a function called redirect in here, which is going to be equal to an arrow function. So we will just paste those things here. We will just first alert, and then we will just push the page from ask question to ask auth. So that's what we are going to do. So now, so let me just refresh to see. So it shows like use history is not exported from React router DOM. So we will just, there's something called as React router. So it also shows use history is not imported from React router. So let me just go use history in React. We will search for that. So we will just go into that. So, but really use history is from the React router DOM itself. Then why it shows the error to me here? It's not exported from React router. So let me just say DOM. It shows the same error for me. So let me just copy this error and paste it in Google. So we will just see what the error is. If you must stick to the latest version of React Router, then replace use history to use navigate, else downgrade your React Router DOM to. So we have to use, it seems like we have to use the use navigate instead of use history, which is the same thing as use history. So we will just change those things here as well as here. So we will just change this to navigate, and let me just copy this and let me just paste it here. We will see it doesn't as push, so we will just remove these things. So that's it. So now if I haven't logged in, so let me just go to this home page. First, if the user value is null, if it means we didn't log in. So if I just click the ask question button, it shows login or sign up to ask a question. So if I just hit OK, it will be no, it should not be navigated to here. It should be redirected to the auth page itself. So we can do one thing instead of doing it here. See, let me just go. So instead of doing that here, we will just copy this redirect. So entire thing here, and we will go to the home main bar code. Home main bar. In here, we will just go to home main bar, and in that we will just have something like this. We will just paste those things as well, and let me just import this use navigate first from React Router DOM itself, and use navigate is not defined, it shows like that. So to have the use navigate from the React Router DOM. So what I can do now, I can just clear these things. Let me just copy this entire thing, and so let me I can just copy this, and I can just go to the home main bar, and in here, so where do I have ask the question? I am asking the question in here. So this too is now to that ask question. So we do have the user defined here. What we can do first, we will check is the user is present. So to do that, we'll just use backticks to format. So this to be used inside a set bracket. So we will use that in here. So what I can do, I can just now link to, I will check the user. If user is triple equals to null, so here first let me just change the value. If I didn't change the value, then it will keep on ask it will keep on alert the page. So if it equals null, then what I can do, let me just if it equals null, then I will just I can just call the function redirect, or else. So if it is equals to null, then what I can do, I can just call the function redirect. So if it is not equals to null, then I will just route to the ask question page. So I can just have a normal string here. So now let me see what the error is going to be. We'll just refresh. So it shows these things are not defined. So what I can do, I can just copy things here, and I can just go up and paste it everything here. Choose user is not defined and redirect is not defined, but if we do have everything in here, so it's because we are using it in the ask question page. You may see it is in the ask question page. So if I just click the ask question, we are inside the ask question. If we are inside, if we didn't authenticate it, then what may it gonna happen? So let me just first go to the home page. So what we can do, mm, to fix this issue, this function has to be called when the link has been clicked. So what we can do, I'm not sure that is on click is present here. So we just go a bit back here. So first, the app is crashing. We just have the user itself in here. So now what I can do, I'm not sure this on click event uh, is there for this link. So let me just see, is on click available for React link. So let me just search for that in React. On click call function, perform action. If it is clicked, on click is a consultant in React. So we will just work out something to get things done. So what we can do now, so let me just have, let me just clear these things first. Let me just clear everything, and what we gonna do, we just going to have an event handler called on click. So this on click allows us to call a function called re check auth. We'll just name it as check auth. So on clicking this link tag, this function will be called. What we can do, we will just have a const on a check auth, which equals to an arrow function. So here we will just first check if user triple equals null, then I'm just going to do these things. So let me just give a tab space here. Let me just clear these things. So if it is, so else I'm not going to do anything. So if it is null, we will do these things. So if it is not, we will just route to this page. So that's what we are gonna do. So we will go down here. So now since the user has been create authenticated, that's why it has a value of 1. We will assume like that. If it is didn't have one, didn't authenticated, if I just click this, it may show the login or sign up to ask a question, and if I just hit OK, so it has went to the ask questions page, but it shouldn't. It should go to the auth page. So what we can do, instead having this thing as a link tag, what we can do, we can just leave it as a button. So that, here I have another idea. We'll just have this as a button and we don't need a to. Instead, the else condition, we can just navigate to the slash ask question. So what I have done here, if the user has not authenticated or it is not logged in, then we will just alert and then we will just navigate to the auth page. If not, if he has been authenticated, then we will just navigate to the ask question page. So now we will go to the ask question page. Now let me just click the ask question button. It shows login or sign up to ask a question. Then it has been routed to the auth page. So now if user value is not equals to null, then if I just click ask question page, it has been routed to this ask question page, which is really simple. So that's what the thing we have used. We have used navigate to do these things. So let me just close this now. So these issues are because I have used the older version of React router now, but a new version has been upgraded in the past few weeks. That's why that's what makes the error for us, because I have created the React app, the new version. That's why the React router down is in a new version. So now we will just eliminate these things. We don't need this as well as this. We will just have some backspace. We will eliminate this as well as this. So we got a lot of confusions, it seems. Okay, now we will do our work, what we have to do actually. So now we have to design a page with a div tag of with a class name of ask question. No, it's not ask question, it's gonna be ask dash quest dash container. So I'm just going to name this give this class name with ask dash, so I didn't use double quotes here, ask dash question as question, and in here we're just gonna have a h1 tag with the ask public question. So now this question should be below this. You may see it is here. You may see, yeah, it is below here. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to have a form to do some things, and we don't need this action. And then we will have a div tag with a class name of ask dash form dash container. We'll give an enter, and in here we will have a label of with the HTML4 of ask dash quest dash title, and we will give a enter here, and inside that we will have a h4 tag with title. We will have a p tag. In that we will just copy things from here. So be specific, and imagine you are asking a question to another person, so that's what we are going to use here. And we will give a enter, and we will have a input tag, which is type going to be text, and the name is going to be question title. I will explain what question title is. I will explain what this name comes to place now. So I will just have an ID now, and we will just the ID should be equal to that HTML4 as ask quest dash title, and then so it's like we don't need this name, it seems. We'll just eliminate this, and then what we can do, we should have a placeholder. If you go here, here is a placeholder for this input. If I just click and type anything, that placeholder goes off. That's the role of a placeholder. Choose like example is there or function for finding the index of an element in a vector. So that's what we want to copy, and we will just have a placeholder in here which is going to be equal to that particular key. So if I just go here, you can see here is a placeholder. We will make this bigger so that it will look good. So now we will copy this thing for three times, and what we're gonna do, we're just going to alter a few things like ask quest dash body for here, and here also we have to say body, and in here we want to just copy this thing, include all, and we will we don't have a placeholder here, so we will just eliminate this placeholder from here. So we'll just do that, and in here we just want to say tags. So we have to change the value also here. Let me just copy, and here it is to be body, and here it has to be tags. So and in here we have to and have tags here. So let me just copy this about, add up to 5 tags. So let me just paste it in the p tag. So we do have the placeholder here with a different value. So let me just copy that also and paste it down here, and that's it. So if I just want to go here, you can see we got a new placeholder here as well. So now we will just have the submit button. So we can also use the submit button using input tag. The type is gonna be submit, like so, and the value is gonna be review your your question, review your question. So this is the value of the submit button. I can just click this. So that's it. So now we will just style this form. So now we will just open the ask question CSS, which we gonna style is dot ask dash question, and in here I'm just going to have a min height of 100 bh, and then I'm just going to have a background color of hash f1 f2 f2 and f3. So you can just have an ask dash quest dash container, like so, and inside that we will give a margin as auto, and then we will give a max width for that as 1200 px. So let me just refresh. Ask question is nothing but the entire page, and the ask question container is nothing but the this thing inside that this form. And now we will just select the h1 tag inside that form. So here I have to enter h1 tag, and in here I'm just going to give a padding for that as 80px and 80px, 0px, and 20px, and 0px. So we have given a padding for that particular h1 tags as well. Now what I'm going to do, we will just select the form inside that container. Select the form inside that we have a ask form container. Let me just have that. So this is the container what we have styled. Now we will select this form, and inside that form we will select this thing. So here I have missed that dot. So now we will select that, and we will use the padding as 20px, and we will just have a background color of white. So now the white color has to appear. So let me just refresh. So now we got the white color in here, which is really cool. So now we will just start styling the. So you can see here is some padding for us, sorry, margin for us, so which is in a margin auto. Then now we're gonna also have a border radius for that. It's gonna be 3px, just like a little bit of curveness, and as well as I'm just going to have a box shadow of 0 and 10px. This is going to be the same box shadow of these widget as well as this widget tags. So I'm just going to paste that box shadow here. So let me just copy that. So then we have styled this. So let me just refresh. So we do have the box shadow as well as the border radius, and then we want to just have the we just want to select the h4 tags inside the label, which is the title, body as well as this tag. So I'm just going to have a ask from container. Inside that we have a label, and inside that we have a h4 tag, and we will just give a margin dash bottom of them to be 0%, since these got a bigger bigger margin, we just going to eliminate those uh, margin on below. So this space is nothing but the margin of the p tag. We will also eliminate those also. Just have dot ask form container, and in that we will select the label and as the p tag. Now we will just make the margin, entire margin, as 0%. So you can see now it is good, and that's it. And the font size is gonna be 13px, and the padding is gonna be 3px and 0px. So we have reduced the font size. You can see the font size has been reduced here as well as, so it is similar to that. So what we can do, so now we have provided the padding for that also, so that it won't touch the title as well as the input tag, or else it will touch both of them. That's why we have provided the top and the body padding, bottom padding. So the margin is 0. This is because it occupies a lot of space, so I'm just reducing that. I'm just reducing the font size to 13px as well. And now what we're gonna do, we just going to select the input. So before that, selecting this, oh, we have used a text area here, that's why this thing is bigger, and as well as it is expandable. So but I couldn't expandable towards the right side because I have neglected that. So we have to gonna use this text area instead and input to get a lot more text from. So because the body of the title is going to be a large thing, so that's why we are going to use a text area. So we will go to the ask question, and instead of using the input tag, we will use the text area tag. So to use that, we will just have text area and hit enter. You can see it has a lot of things like name, id, row. You don't need a text because itself, the name itself is a text. So let me just copy this id and paste it on here. Okay, I have done something wrong. So let me just copy this id and paste it here. So now let me just cut this input tag. So now we will go to the css. You can see now we got a text area, but it is both expandable on both the sides. You can see it as horizontal as well as a vertical. So we have to neglect those things. First let me just select that input as well as text area. So first we will just select the ask form container. In that we will insert the label. We got the input tag, and we'll also select the ask form container. Inside that we got the label as well as the text area. We will select both of the things, and in that what I'm gonna give a padding of 10px and a border of solid 1px, and I'm just going to give a black color with a lesser opacity of 6 zeros followed by 3 and the E, and I'm just going to have a font family. So I'm having a font family here because, let me just refresh this page. In text area we will be having a different font family. You can see the font style is different other than from here. So that's why we want to have a font family here to make everything as a same font family. This is going to be a roboto comma sans dash serif. So, and the width of the star input will be calculated from 100% minus 20 px. So the width we will give a resize of vertical. So now, what is this 20 px? This 20 px is nothing but this padding length. So add both of that and we will just reduce that from the input size. So now our form is ready. So now we have to style this button. So to select that button, I'm just going to uh, give a name here, class name here. The class is gonna be review dash btn. So let me just copy and go to the css and let me just select that, and inside that we will be just giving a margin for that to go down. So I'm just going to give a margin of 50 px and 0 px. So here you can see there is a top margin as well as a bottom margin, so that it will be somewhere down. There will be a space between the button as well as the font. So that's why we have provided a margin, and we will increase the padding so that the padding is going to be 10 px on top and bottom as well as the left and right. So it is the same value. So we'll just leave like that. You can see the padding has been given here for the text, and we're just going to have a background color of #009 DFF, and we will give a border of none, and then we will just, sorry, we don't need a border of none. Instead we will give a border of solid on px and a blue color 00, the same color. We will just give the same color, and then we will give a text color as white, and then we will give a, so we will just refresh, we will give a text color of white, and the border radius is gonna be 4 px. So, and then we will just give a cursor as pointer, and then we will give a transition of 0.3 seconds, because we just going to provide another background color for that for hovering this button. So let me just copy, so let me just have a background color of #0086 D8 like so. So now let me just refresh. So now we got a nice button with hovering. While hovering this, we will be getting a darker blue color. So now with that we complete the UI of this ask question page. So in next lecture we will see the next thing. So thank you.